is a brand new 2018 Kubota RTV-X1100C. Just got delivered a couple of hours ago. It's a fantastic machine. And I'll give you a little bit of a walk around here of what the options I got on it and just what it's like. There's the first option that I got. It's the integrated Kubota 4,000-pound winch. I'll show you where they hooked that up from the dealership. Did a fantastic job on it. Also, I got the exterior front work lights, and then around the back there's the rear work light. It has the spray-in bed liner, diesel. It's a 24-horse diesel. It's the 1105 Kubota engine. I did get the work site tires. These are the standard steel wheels. You can get the alloy wheels for this thing if you really want to jazz it up a bit, but they're like a $600 additional option, and for what it's going to be used for, it doesn't make any sense. But the work site tires are outstanding. There's the tread on them. So they're gentle enough that you can run across grass and stuff in your yard and not tear it up too bad, but they have tremendous traction if you're not on grass. I did get the trailer hitch on the back. And there's a little shot of the engine and such. Tailgate folds down. It's a little bit hard to do one-handed, but you have to pull these latches in. You have to pull this one, and of course there's one over here on that corner. This is a wide machine. I'm not sure if it shows up in the video, but this thing is about 65 inches wide, weighs about 2,300 pounds just by itself. It's got an 8-gallon diesel tank on it. Like I said, it's the 1105 Kubota engine. Take a look inside. You've got a factory cab, great door seals. I mean, this is almost like a small truck. This is your door release here to get out. Standard crank up and down windows. Down here on the driver's seat, a couple of knobs and buttons. This knob here, this orange thing, is actually for the differential lock, so you can get positive traction. So it's much like the Kubota tractors, in that if you step on that with your heel, it'll lock both rear wheels up. But if you do get into a situation where you need to have both wheels locked for an extended period of time, you can step on that, pull up on this, and it will lock your differential lock in place. This is just a hand throttle, so if you're running an attachment that needs constant engine constant engine RPM, you can pull this out, get the engine to advance just like a tractor, and then of course you step on the gas, and that controls the hydrostatic part of it. Down here, this is the connection for your hydraulics for the dump bed. I'll show you that in a second. Underneath all the seats, they flip forward. We've got some storage there. This is for the winch. I'll show you that here in a minute. This is a maintenance access hatch, and then underneath the passenger seat, same thing. You've got a nice storage bin underneath that seat as well. Seat belts, they're just lap belts. Integrated headrests into the back. Across here, you've got a cup holder here and a cup holders over there on the passenger side. If you get it equipped with turn signals, this one I don't have the highway usage for, then this would come with a turn signal knob, very similar to the Kubota tractors. But since I don't have it, it's just controlling your headlights and of course your horn. This is because of the winch, so they added this switch here so I can operate the winch directly right here from the inside the cab. This is your parking brake. Works just like any other parking brake, except it's got a hand control, so you just pull back on it a little bit, push the button in, oh, there we go, and then release it, and then put the parking brake on. You just pull it back towards you. Air vents, so it does have heat and air. If we climb up in here a little bit, you can see you got air vents there, air vent over there. Heat and AC controls are right here, so you have the ability to do the panel vents, a blend of panel vents and your feet, just your feet, and then of course you can blend it to a little bit of defrost with your feet, and then all forward defrost. Like I said, it does have air conditioning, multi-speed fan, temperature controls over here, plus you've got a selector for outside air or recirculate if you wish. Down there's the cabin air filter. Engine display is right here. It's off right now. I'll turn that on for you in a second. So you've got all of your idiot lights, turn signal indicators, seat belts warnings, and your headlights and parking brake and glow plugs and all that stuff over there. It does come with a 12 volt, 120 watts, so 10 amp, 12 volt standard cigarette plug, and then of course your key switch. And then down on the floor you've got your brake and gas. The only complaints I guess I have is that it isn't you sit very upright in these seats. The seats are adjustable. Oh, I guess I should show you that tilt wheel. So you can tilt the wheel forward and back. It's a little hard to do one-handed, but you pull the lever and then pull the... We've got a heavy spring in it, but you can pull the steering wheel wherever you want. This connector down here is for the winch, and I'll show you that again, like I said, in a second. But like I was saying, you sit fairly upright. There's no recline to these things. It's not really a comfortable long ride vehicle. it's a utility vehicle, so you're not gonna take a road trip in the thing, but it's certainly decent. And it's a little bit hard on the driver's side. There's no grab bar up here, so you have this safety bar right here, and when you go to swing in, you kind of have to step over it, and there's only a few inches here, so it is a little bit interesting to get in it. I guess it does ride a little bit upright, and there's you can see my feet here. You're kind of at a weird angle with your foot on the accelerator. It's not like you're driving a car where you're kind of reclined back a bit. But not really that I don't like it. It's just a little bit different. The doors seal beautifully. If I close them here, I mean, it's quiet in here. It seals out a lot of the noise. You do have an overhead console. That overhead console, get some focus going on here. Overhead console, you've got your windshield wiper. You've got, and then of course inside of the work lights, you have the forward and reverse work light. It does have a dome light, so you have that. And then there's a spot for a radio. So it comes pre-wired with the antenna and the speakers. Okay, just some further walk around with the Kubota. I've got the gate lifted up on it here, or the rear dump bed. So here's engine access from the driver's side. You've got a radiator here on this side. It does have a replaceable screen or a washable screen to keep crud out, so it's the side radiator. Battery's right here on the side, so it's easy to get to. Makes it real nice. They do have this rubber cover over part of the motor. There's the engine right there. Again, that's that 1105 Kubota. Your transmission dipsticks right there. The engine oil dipsticks, the one right there with that little red dot on it. I'll go around the other side here in a second and show you. There's the hydraulic cylinder for the bed, and then this safety bar here. What you do is if you're working on the engine or needing to work on the bed or something and don't want to risk this thing coming down on you for whatever reason, you can pull this down and it swings down into the cylinder and keeps the cylinder from ever going back down again. So it acts like basically like a jack stand. Walk around the other side here. There's your diesel fill. Nice big 2 or 3 inch opening there. Get your diesel in. Again, it's an 8-gallon tank. Plenty of access in here. You can crawl all the way across from this side. So again, there's your transmission dipstick. Engine oil dipsticks right there with the little red dot on it. And then the engine itself. Easy to get to everything. There's a transmission filter. Both transmission filters and hydraulic filters are right back there. So the black one is your suction, and the orange or yellow one is the main transmission filter, but the black one's the suction side. So pretty easy to work on. You might wonder where the air cleaner is. I'll show you. Just like a normal car, it does have a hood. So right underneath the hood here is actually you can see it's kind of right there, right underneath the Kubota logo. You flip that, and this thing's on hydraulics, flips right up, and there's your front hood access. So air cleaner is right here. So you've got a big intake right there, easy canister filter. It does have the Kubota little squeezy valve here that you can use to get the big chunks out. Access for the air conditioner, hydraulic brakes. It does run standard .3 brake fluid, so you can top it off if you need to. Washer bottle, radiator overfill, and then radiator and the air conditioning condensers right here. Again, all with removable screens, so you can take the screens out and hose them off. Keeps the radiator from getting plugged. Does have a wimpy little horn, but hopefully you don't need the horn too much on these things. But that's basic under the hoods of the Kubota line. Alright, so back inside, here's how you start it. It does have a transmission lockout that it will not start unless you're in neutral. Even if there is somebody in the seat, doesn't matter. There's no sensor on the seat or anything like that. It physically will not start unless it's in neutral. So foot on the brake. You don't have to have your foot on the brake, but it's probably a good idea. We have the parking brake on anyway. But then over here is your key. First position is like an accessory position where you can see the display light up. Here you have your fuel gauge. You have engine temperature, speedometer, and then an hour meter. In this case, I've got 1.6 hours on it. And what we'll do is just the next detent is a detent for the glow plugs. So if you're going to start it, and if it's in the summertime and it hasn't been started in a while, you can hold it for 5 seconds or so and then light it off. Otherwise, if it's the middle of winter, 25-30 seconds, hold it and then crank it right over and it should start right up. But I've had it started already, so it should just be quick. There we go. You can see the indicator. I got the parking brake on. Parking brake's there. So we'll take the parking brake off. And there we go. Drive. I mean, it goes. It's not a speed demon. It's meant for power and utility work. It goes about 20-25 miles an hour though when it's got an open stretch of road in front of it. The ride's beautiful, even over bumps. It's great. A little bit noisy inside the cab with the engine running, but it's still comfortable enough that you can talk. Thing's built like a tank. It really is a nice little machine. Drives great. Power steering is outstanding on it. The turning radius is a little wide. You saw me have to back up when I made that sharp turn, but it's got a little bit of a wider turning radius when you try to turn sharp, but it's not that bad. It's certainly not a trail machine as much as it is. It's a work machine. It's designed to work around the farm, work around the construction site, work around the yard, and get shit done. It's really built for that exact purpose. But fit and finish on it is great. Ride's great. Really can't complain about the purchase, and so far it's been a nice addition. Everything I have is Kubota. I have the ZD326 mower and the B3000 tractor with buckets and all the attachments for that. So this is the third Kubota that I've had, and so far I haven't had a problem with anything. So hopefully this will keep the same tradition.